Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. Welcome to episode 165 of Messages for Lightworkers. Yay! Obviously, I am by myself. Val is enjoying a much needed vacation in a sunny tropical place. So there you go. So she has entrusted me to do this on my own. What could possibly go wrong? So, welcome to those of you that are here that have said hello, and hello to Lois T, Dawn Turner, Dibs BK, and James Spear out of Tampa. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. For those of you that are just in the background lurking, that's perfectly okay. That is absolutely allowed. You're not required to participate. If all you want to do is listen, that absolutely works for me. So, yes, Dibs. Never mind. I'm not going to say it all by myself. And Luna's mom, Tracy, welcome. So, as I was preparing for the show and getting ready and talking to the guides and saying, okay, what do you want to talk about? And what I got was active listening. I thought, okay, well, that makes sense. I think we've covered that a few times, but okay. If active listening is what you want, then that's what we're going to do. So I pulled from the Neptune moon oracles, and the message was actually quite interesting. Hello, Leslie and Tane. Thank you for being here. What I got was Windows to the Soul. And that talks about your purpose and truth. And then I got thoughtful insights. And again, this talks about the believe as truth. So we've got the perspective and truth. We've got the believe in the truth. I then got Mercury the Messenger. And that talks about important information. Okay. And finally, I got rhythm cycles. And rhythm cycles is flow with the tides. And that kind of solidified the message that I got. Active listening is all about being present in the moment as you're hearing the messages, as you're hearing the conversation, the way that that you were meant to hear it. And I thought, well, most of us do try to actively participate in listening. So why are we being asked to pay attention to this again? And the message that I got was it's going to be more important than ever for us to actively listen to what is being said. And I think that part of why that is going to be important is as things change, as the energy changes, and there are shifts that are coming online, and we are going from the 3D to the 5D cycles, that being open to hearing what someone else is saying is going to become more and more important. So We are hearing what someone else is saying without judgment, without wanting to jump in and either correct their assumption or correct what they've said, without needing to validate what it is that we think and how it is that we are perceiving them. So um, it really made a lot of sense to kind of have it that way, have that message be the active listening. And so what is active listening? Okay. Um, it it is the skill of fully focusing on understanding and thoughtfully responding to someone while they are speaking. It's more than just hearing words. It's being mentally and emotionally present in the conversation. So how do we know when we are doing um, active listening? Well, we put away all other distractions. And, whether that's the phone, the laptop, the computer, it, we put all that away. We turn all that off and we are making eye contact with the person that we are speaking to. And we are maintaining appropriate eye contact, right? So you're not just in front of someone going, staring at them. You're actively engaged in hearing what they have to say. And we show that we are listening by using some of the verbal cues, whether it's a nod, whether we say, I see, go on, that sort of thing. And we're matching the other person's um, expression and tone, right? So if they are speaking to us about something that, give me just a sec, I got to got my little heater fan was on, and all of a sudden it was getting very, very hot. So, um, yeah, we are reflecting and paraphrasing what it is that they're saying without jumping in um, to explain ourselves or our point of view. So it kind of we reflect back what we have heard. So things like, so you're saying the deadline feels overwhelming. We're paraphrasing what someone else is saying. The key point is we're not jumping in to correct them. We're allowing them the opportunity to speak until they are finished, right? Okay. So we're also asking clarifying questions. Like what what happened after that? Can you explain what you mean by that? Can you explain what you meant by that? And then we are responding thoughtfully. We are not interrupting. We are avoiding giving advice unless asked. And we are validating the other person's feelings. So we are saying things like, that sounds really frustrating. That sounds like it's quite a challenge for you. Now, and sometimes the best way to give an example is to show what it's not. Okay. We are not active listening when we hear someone say, yeah, I'm really stressed out about my presentation. And we say, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Anyway, did you finish the report? That kind of totally shifts the conversation, and we're showing that we are not active listening. So maybe a better response might be to say something like, wow, it sounds like you're feeling really nervous. What part is worrying you the most? Again, active listening. And why does that matter? Well, it builds trust. It reduces misunderstandings. It strengthens relationships. It improves teamwork. It helps resolve conflict. And part of what that work, just to give you an idea, let's say you're at work, okay? How do you practice active listening at work? Well, let people finish speaking before you respond. Take notes during meetings so that you can stay focused on what is being said. Okay, paraphrase key points of what someone has just said, such as, okay, so then the main priority is finishing phase 1 by Friday. Is that correct? Ask, is that correct? And then be quiet while we hear the response. Okay. Ask for solution-based questions, such as, what can I do to help you move forward? What can I do to help you achieve that? And again, we're not interrupting the other person. And that helps in terms of it reduces costly misunderstandings. It makes coworkers feel respected and heard, and it improves collaboration. In a relationship, not only do we maintain eye contact, but we're also reflecting emotion. So we're saying things like, it sounds like that really hurt you, or it sounds like you felt misunderstood, right? Avoid jumping straight to advice, right? We validate the person's feelings. Even if we disagree with them, we validate that their feeling is their feeling. We validate that it is what they are going through is their truth, right? We're validating their purpose and their truth. Okay. Saying things like, yeah, I understand why that upsets you, and so on. In a relationship, what that does is it helps things from escalating. It helps things, it helps letting the other person know that you are on board with what they are saying. You hear what they are saying, and it is okay for them to express themselves because there is a lot of safety in that conversation. And so they're going to be more apt to share more information with you. In a leadership role, active listening is really important because it helps build energetic teams, and it helps again for people to feel like they are truly being heard. And it's funny because a little bit of this we talked about yesterday during the Sisters of the Mystical Tarot show, when Allie said how, that very often in meetings, if she had something to contribute, she would contribute what she said, never felt really heard. People would look at her while she's speaking, and then when she was finished speaking, they'd go, and then move on to someone who had been there longer, who was more tenured, and so on. So when we actively listen to what others are saying, we let them know that they are part of the team. They are a valued part of the team, whether they have been on the team for years, or whether this is their very first meeting, right? We want them to feel like they're being heard. And then we ask open-ended questions, such as, what challenges are you facing? It allows people the opportunity um, to not only feel like they are part of the team, but that they have a connection um, to everyone, that they are um, that their contribution to the team is important, whether it's a big contribution or a little contribution. Every little bit helps, right? So, yes, Dibs, be polite. It is a Canadian thing. We'd like to export it all over the world. Be polite. And and Susan Fuentes, yes, connecting and staying present, right? Everyone is going to have an opportunity to be heard. And if you would like to be heard, then extend that courtesy to those around you, so that that everyone feels safe and everyone feels like, yes, there is something that they have to contribute. Yes. And hello, artist Liz. Sorry, just wanted to say hello to you. And yes, Dibs. What? Not my media. Yes, turn it off. When you're actively listening, we need to turn it off, and we need to let that person know that we are now engaged in a conversation, and I am here. I am listening to what you're saying. And when you mirror that for them, they're going to be more likely to put down their phone or whatever it is that might be distracting them, and they're going to be focused and paying attention to what it is that you have to say, right? So, yes, Irene says, hey, lurking while working in the kitchen. That's all right. Lurk away. And hello, Viviani. Nice to see you here. And yes, I'm doing this solo, and I'll probably end up doing next week's show solo as well, because I don't think that Val is back until the early part of March. So, like I said in the beginning, what could go wrong? So, those were some of the examples that I gave you about active listening. And now it's my turn to listen to you. So, what are some of the ways that you guys practice active listening? What are some of the tips that maybe you have picked up along the way, that you can share with not only the group that's here, but with folks who are going to be watching this in replay? And replay is a wonderful thing, because I think that the messages that we share are going to reach everyone exactly when they are supposed to. So, by all means, if you have something while I sip on my coffee, if you have ways that you practice that active listening, by all means, put it in the chat, share. Dibs, yes. Repeat the question back to the person who asked it before giving your answer. Yes. Yeah. That clarifies for them that you have heard, and it gives them the opportunity to correct what they might have said, and for them to say, well, actually, no, I didn't mean that. I meant, and gives them an opportunity to clarify. So, yeah, when you do that, you encourage more conversation. Ah, Oh, good coffee. Good coffee. And hmm, um, when we when we participate actively in listening, it makes people and it helps people want to share information with us. If we kind of fall into the trap of, someone saying, "Oh, have you got a minute? I need to talk to you about something." Yeah, sure, I do. Um, is it is it gonna take long? Well, it's gonna take as long as it's gonna take. If you don't have the time right now to, um, to have a conversation with someone, be honest, be upfront, be truthful, right? This is believe the truth. Believe the truth, that came up, and, um, be be ready for important information to come in, okay? And know that it's going to serve, your purpose and your truth. So, um, if you don't have the time to devote to someone now, you can always say, I'm sure that this conversation is important, and I want to make sure that I have the time, that I am absolutely involved in that conversation. I'm on my way to a meeting right now. However, I will be finished in 30 to 45 minutes. Can we schedule something an hour from now? Because I really want to hear what you have to say. You haven't said no to the person. You've set time aside for them later on, and you've given them an opportunity to um, to not only be heard, but to engage with you further. So you haven't said no, you haven't put them off. You've explained how things are going to happen and what is going to happen in a very comforting way. I don't want to say, yes, I have time to have a quick conversation, but I'm constantly going to be looking at my watch, and I'm, going to, at some point, I'm going to have to cut you off and say, yeah, okay, can we, can we do this a little later? Because I'm just on my way into a meeting. That kind of makes the other person feel like you really didn't hear what I had to say. So, are you going to hear me half an hour from now? Probably not. So, yeah, don't worry about it. And they're going to walk away. So, be honest with people when it comes to your time. Um, and this is interesting, Susan Fuentes. Sometimes I ask my spirit guides after asking the person I am speaking to for permission what the spirits think. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You know, um, I've heard what you've said. Is it okay if I consult with my spirit team? Is it okay if I take a moment and just listen to anything that they might be bringing up? Absolutely. Absolutely. That would definitely work. Yep. And Dawn, did I say hello to you? I remember saying hello to the others. And I remember, yeah. And artist Liz, hello. Welcome, welcome. Let me get a little more comfortable here. So yeah, you know what? I feel lost without my partner in crime. I really do. It's like, it's like trying to type with one hand tied behind your back, or yeah, I keep, oh, you were doing dishes, Dawn. Oh, okay. I try not to. I have a dishwasher. It gets loaded up every once in a while and everything gets cycled through. Yeah. So there. Pots and pans, that's a different thing. I think pots and pans, you kind of need to wash them. Yeah. Multitasking. Yes, Dibs. Yes, Dibs. So yeah, I'm hoping, I think Val is traveling today. So I hope that she has an uneventful trip down to Mexico, and I hope that she's able to just sit back, unplug, and totally, totally rest. Yeah. And hello, Healing Readings by Donna Marie. Nice to have you here. Thank you for being here with us. So yes, yeah. Don said, yeah, I fall over if I chew gum and walk. Yeah. Yeah, there are times when I've absolutely been there. And bear with me, you guys, while I'm feeling um my lips and my tongue are starting to tingle, and that's normally a sign that my blood sugars are a little low. So, hello, Jackie B. Nice to see you here. And Donna Marie says, very happy to catch you live and listen in. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to let you guys talk to each other while I load up on some sugar to help get things feeling a little better, because I don't want to cut this um, too short. Yeah. Mm. And I will it's a good follower today. Oh, nice. New Neil Diamond movie. Wow. Nice. Nice. And Selfish Dean Kitchen Witchery says, hello, she's going to be lurking and listening. And she's exhausted. Okay. Hmm. And load up on me. It's better. I'm If I could, I would, but that means leaving you all here staring at a blank screen while I go try to find some meat. Okay. So we'll give this an opportunity to kind of work its way through. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to take effect, I do want to bring to your attention my lovely Otter Spirit bracelets. And for some reason, I decided that the ones that I needed were the sacral chakra set. So, yeah, the sacral chakra set is the orange aventurine. It is carnelian, this one, and it is the deep red tiger eye. And yeah, you've heard me mention this before. Otter Spirit is a fabulous, fabulous company out of California, and a portion of all their sales go towards maintaining the otters in Monterey Bay, which not that long ago were pretty much extinct in Monterey Bay due to overfishing and the boats and so on. So the owner of the company, who is an absolutely fabulous person, um, has worked very hard at raising the otter population. So when you can go to their website, and as a matter of fact, I am going to put up the link here so that you can get, whoops, here we go. There, Otter Spirit. If you go to my link with Otter Spirit, and if you make a purchase, you get 20% off. 20% off is always good. And 30% off if you spend $99 or more. So I can tell you that most of the sets that they have, there's 3 bracelets in a set. They come in a fabulous little box that's magnetized. I've got so many that I had to start putting labels on them in terms of what they were so that I could identify them. Because honestly, the older I get, the more difficult it is to remember a whole bunch of stuff. So, any the what was I going to say? Yeah, sorry, Silky. Yeah, controlling your blood sugar with sugar is never a good idea. No, no. These they're dextrose tablets, and they're made for kind of emergency. This is not the way that I normally control my blood sugars, believe me. But in an emergency, they're exactly what the doctor ordered. So, yes, um, the Otter Spirit bracelets are triple A grade, double A grade. They're a lot different than what you're going to find in most stores. Okay, in that there is heft to them, there is weight to them, there is always there's such a different feeling, a different energy when you're dealing with their bracelets. So they're absolutely fabulous. I love the concept behind them. I love the fact that they give back to the community, and I like that. You may end up spending initially a little more, but you're going to get what you pay for. And there is definitely an energy that once you have 1 or 2 or 3 of their bracelets, you're going to know the difference. You're going to know that this is a good quality product versus, oh, it's just a bracelet with some beads, right? And each one of the bracelets has this lovely little silver pendant that's attached, and it's a little sea otter. And yeah, they're wonderful. They really are. Now, the latest thing that they have added to their product line are spheres. And I think that they have the 5 centimeter spheres, and there's something else coming. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to tell you to go check out their website, okay, and see what's on there. They also have necklaces and earrings of all kinds. You can buy a bracelet that is something that you align with. You can go by the energy. You can go by the color. You really are spoiled for choice when it comes to them. So yeah, by all means, go check them out. Okay. Now feeling lighter. Wow. Thank you, Susan. That is great. That is great. And Artist Liz said, yeah, that she loves them and she used my discount code and she has 5 of them. Yes. As do several of you, because you know what? I want to do business with companies that have the same mindset, that are ethical, and that provide something that is going to be of benefit to my subscribers. So you won't see me advertising a whole lot of product, because I need to make sure that if I'm going to be speaking about that product, that it is a reflection of who I am, and they are a reflection of me. So you'll hear me speak of Otter Spirit, and you'll hear me speak of Andrew and Nikki's skincare, because I absolutely believe in them. Okay, alrighty, listen. 10 minutes of advertising gone. Yes. And oh, and Dawn, yes. Dawn says they're beautiful stones and are very clear. Yes, they are. Yeah. And she has seen mine in person and they are way better quality than what Dawn can get. Yeah. Dawn works with jewelry and with different stones and whatnot. And you know what? Everybody resonates with things differently. So yeah. And I'm so glad that you're feeling better, Susan. That is wonderful. That is why we do what we do. So there you go. There you go. Active listening is really important, and it is going to be important going forward, because we're going to be having conversations with people that we vehemently disagreed with not too long ago. And they're going to want to have conversations with us. And it's important for both sides to to um, to recognize that trying to have a conversation from a place of judgment isn't going to serve anyone, and that we're going to need to move forward as a group, as a unit, that we're going to need to make some better choices and better decisions about the world that we want to live in, the world that we want to leave to our children and our grandchildren and those that come after us, right? And if you think about the concept that, we have some, that Earth School is someplace that people want to go, that people want to come to. So chances are that we're probably going to want to come back and learn other lessons. So do we want to come back and learn in a place that is going to make us feel good? Or do we want to come back and learn lessons in a place that may or may not be to our liking? I would much rather come back to a place that is going to be helpful to me. So there is that. Okay. Also want to. I'm really starting to fade fast here, folks. I hadn't anticipated this. I did have lunch. Clearly, not enough. Not enough. Or, um, yeah, something is a little off today. So, um, before I before I say or do something that I'm going to regret. I can say, but how many different live shows have you done this week? You're the James Brown of psychics. Thank you. I was thinking. I've done a few. I've done a few. And I have a few more at 7 p.m. This evening. I'll be joined by the lovely Cleo of Cleo the Seer, and we're going to do our kitchen table issues show. That is going to be a lot of fun. And tomorrow I'll give you guys a heads up. I do have a show scheduled with Allie at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time tomorrow, and it's our regularly scheduled Story in the Cards show. Allie is still dealing with, some health issues, and my big concern is, even though she is feeling a lot better, I don't want her to jump into getting back on schedule faster than her body is ready for her to do that. So um, I have left it up to Allie that if she's feeling up to it, we'll do the show tomorrow. If she is not feeling up to it, then that's okay. We can always reschedule. Your health is not something that you can get back, right? So I know that people do tend to think that, oh, no, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I can do this. And then they are twice as exhausted after a show than they would be if they had just said, no, right? We'll do it another time. So I realize that what we do here isn't necessarily rocket science. And that self-care is something that we owe ourselves. We can't be of benefit to someone else if we're not taking care of ourselves. So she says, reminding herself that, that maybe, just maybe, I can end the show a little early and do what Susan has suggested, and maybe go through my fridge and see if I can't find something that is meat related, protein related, that I can get into me. So check back at 7 p.m. tonight. I'll be on again, as I said, with Cleo the Seer. Thank you for joining me. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps. It really does work with the algorithm, particularly if you leave a comment after the show. And just make sure that it's 7 characters or more. I don't know why 7 is a magic number, but apparently it is. Apparently it is. So, all right. I'm going to leave you all, and I am going to see if I can't get me some meat. I'm sure that I've got something in the fridge. All right, you guys, take care, and I will see you later on this evening. Bye for now.